Alright, so we promised that we're going to do one of these cooking classes every week. So here we go. We're going to do our next, and we're going to do one of our dishes, the most seller right now, and it's our mushrooms 3 ways. So let's look the product and see what we have in here. So I know it's a little hard to find this mushrooms on the store. So this ones we call them a king trumpet mushrooms. Okay, the other ones right here, those are the white domestic mushrooms. Okay. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna start slicing. You wanna kind of like removing the bottom part in here, and you're gonna try to get kind of like nice thick slicers of the mushroom. So we're just gonna be about that thick. For those, I know it's hard to get those mushrooms. So if you can find these mushrooms on the store, I mean the other mushroom probably you can use will be portobello mushrooms. They're very easy to find, so maybe you want to go that kind of direction. Okay. So by the time we get this ones, I'm gonna have this ones ready to go right here. And with this ones, we're gonna do the sauce, and we're gonna chop this ones kind of like in small pieces, so like that. It's easy to put them on the blender once you get to go on this ones. So let's have this ones right here. So I would say probably you're gonna need, for a portion for 2, you probably need like 10 mushrooms altogether. And I know that on the store you can find those little packages, and I believe there is like a pound and a half on each on the mushrooms, I'm sorry. And for this one you're gonna need like a half of the onion. And I would like to use this onions because they're a little bit more sweeter, and the white ones, they call them Spanish onions. So I cut them in there, cut them in little pieces. So we're gonna use that. Let's go back here. So I'm gonna have one of these pots ready to go. I'm gonna heat them up a little bit. I'm gonna use probably like I would say 2 ounces on olive oil. And if you don't have extra virgin olive oil, you can always use a regular canola oil or corn oil. It's not a big difference on that when you use it. So when you do this onions, you want to kind of like have that cook them in slow heat, and so that you don't get that crispy and color on it. You just want to kind of like sweat your onions so that your sauce doesn't turn dark when you're cooking this. And you can see how they start getting a little bit crispy. And you want to put a little bit salt also in there, so the onion kind of like relieves some of the liquid from the onion, so that you get more liquid into your sauce. There we go. And you can see how the onion, it's not yellow anymore. It's kind of like already crystallized. Some of the mushrooms in there, and you can use the leftovers on your other mushrooms. Let's see how I got the little pieces in there. That'll be good for your sauce, but it's gonna make more. So like I said, probably 10 mushrooms. It will give you enough for like 2 or 3 portions. And this is gonna be our sauce. There's 3 different ways. We're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream. Okay. And I would say probably you're gonna need, for that amount of, you're gonna need probably like 6 ounces. You want to kind of like try to cover your mushrooms and your onions. Get it in there. Okay. Give it more of the flavor. We're gonna put a little bit of that white truffle oil. And you can find this on the store. I mean, it's probably, I would say like $20, one of those little bottles. And you can keep this one in a cold temperature, and they will hold for at least 6 or 7 months. So by the time this sauce is ready to go, we're gonna start slicing our mushrooms and cooking the rest of the other ones. So for this ones, you can either cook this ones in the grill outside, or either if you have like a pan, you can do that. That will be fine. So we're gonna drizzle this with just a little bit of oil. And we're gonna put a little bit of salt in here so that they don't lose any of the flavor. You want to go a little bit heavy on the mushrooms because they don't have that much flavor, this mushroom, so you want to get that nice and salt flavor. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one's in the poncho. Like I said, you can put this one's either on the grill or on the saute pan. That'll be fine. I mean, you just want a nice color on it. And that will probably take this plancha right now. It's around like 800 degrees, so it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to cook them. It's quick. See how to start getting that nice color. That's kind of like you want on that. So we're gonna flip them and get color on both sides. Like I said, to give them more of the flavor to the dishes, we're gonna add, I would say probably like 1 ounce of butter, and a couple of spoons on the thyme. The thyme gives a nice flavor. Thyme it's easy to find anywhere in the stores. And the butter is gonna actually pop them up to get a little bit more of that flavor, the color. Start getting that nice. See a nice color at the top. Again, 2 or 3 minutes, most of them should be ready. And you can see how the brown butter starts sticking into the mushroom. And that's what you want. You kind of like want that brown butter flavored. Yeah. Or this one is ready to go. See, when you cream start getting a little bit thicker, that's when you want to start putting them on the blender. And again, you want this one to be blended when it's hot. The other way, it gets a little harder to blend those mushrooms. It's better to. It's perfect on salt. Don't need any more. Like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to teach you guys how to put them on the blender. I'm sure you guys already know this one's. I'm going to show you exactly the product when it's already complete. And this is how the use sauce is going to come up and then, which is nice and creamy, and it has kind of like the same color on them. You want to kind of like that texture with the mushrooms and the onions all together. It's going to end up like this. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and we said we're going to have 3 different kinds of mushrooms. So first you we're going to have 3 of these mushrooms. Slice them. Put this ones. You kind of like want to clean them a little bit so that sometimes they have this little dark. It's not even. It's kind of like the bottom part of it that you're trying to remove. Okay. All right. So we're gonna slice this one's really thin, and this is kind of like the third mushroom. It's gonna go on top of your dish. You want them to be almost, I would say probably like a quarter an inch, maybe half an inch. I normally use it. Once you use this mandolin, you can either use mandolin or you can use your knife. It doesn't matter. I mean, this one, sometimes it's a little bit dangerous to use it. You gotta be very careful when you use this one. Okay. So I prefer it. If you guys are gonna do this at home, probably you want to do it with the knife. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do with this ones, we're gonna put them in a bowl. We're gonna grab a little bit salt. We're gonna add salt in here. Okay. Start getting out there with the flavor. Black pepper. Yeah. We're gonna grab extra virgin olive oil. You kind of want to like get your mushrooms a little bit wet with the olive oil. Yeah, olive oil is really good. You want to have a nice squeeze lemon on there to give it that flavor too. Toast it up a little bit, really well. Whenever you can see it start getting nice and red. Taste it always for salt. I mean, mushrooms normally pick up a lot of the salt, so you need a good amount of salt in there. You can always taste it. All right. So let's play this one around. So by the time this one's, they're kind of like get all the flavors. This one mushrooms they concentrated with the thyme and the butter all together there, so they're gonna get a nice flavor to it. All right. What we're gonna do, like I said, this one almost has the texture of like a piece of meat, pretty much. The mushrooms, they're nice and thick. So you want to put this one in the bottom here, okay? And you're gonna use some of this one on top. Get that nice. So you got do that 1 and 2. First, you're gonna get a total mushroom right here. This is gonna give you a lot of. So this is gonna be used kind of like use sauce to balance the dish together. So because you want a little bit of the acid to the dish, we decided to add a little bit of pickled red onions to the dish. If you want to do this onions at home, pretty much what it is, it's 3 parts sugar. I would say 3 ounces of sugar, 1 ounce on salt, and you put like 2 cups on red wine and 2 cups of water. You slice your onions really small, and then when your liquid is boiling, you just add those onions in there and you pull them out of the heat and you let them sit on your cooler for a couple of days, and they'll be fine. They're gonna get all the flavors from the salt, sugar, and also the vinegar. And you can leave those in there for a while. They will be good if you put them on the container or something. They hold really well together. I mean, look at it. Those for like a vegetarian, that's perfect dish, or even for appetizer when you do 2 stars. Perfect dish. If you want to get it just a little bit color on it, we do a little bit of chives. You can even use like green onions that will go really well together with that. Alright? Look at that. It's perfect. It's like a nice, easy dish to do at home. And like again, you can find these mushrooms anywhere. If you can find those cane trumpet mushrooms, you can always, like I said, use portobello mushroom. They have pretty much the same texture with this ones. And you kind of like wonder if you want to use those portobellos, kind of like remove the black part that's inside of the portobello mushrooms, and the rest will be pretty much the same as dishes. All right, thank you guys. All right.